The Kurukshetra battlefield is choked with dust and smoke. Across this expanse, tens of thousands of warriors are locked in combat beneath a setting sun. Through this haze, two specific figures lock onto each other. This moment represents the final convergence of a bitter, lifelong rivalry between the great warrior Karna and the hero Arjuna. Karna draws his heavy bow back to his ear and releases the string. He fires his ultimate weapon, the Nagastra. This is a celestial weapon imbued with the lethal spirit of a cosmic serpent. Once it leaves the bow, morting physics no longer apply. It cannot be deflected by shields, parried by a sword, or countered by another arrow. It travels with unwavering accuracy, locked onto a single, inescapable coordinate, Arjuna's head. Arjuna is the greatest archer on earth, but his human reflexes fail him here. The arrow outpaces the speed of sight. He watches the glowing tip approach, paralyzed. At this millisecond, all his years of elite training amount to nothing. If that arrow makes contact, Arjuna dies, and his faction loses the war on the spot. But Arjuna isn't alone on the golden chariot. Beside him sits his charioteer, Lord Krishna. Krishna is not holding a weapon, and as a divine avatar, he is not bound by the standard flow of time. To Krishna's perception, the chaos of the battlefield slows to a standstill. He observes the threat with clarity, while the world remains effectively paused. He instantly assesses the velocity of the Nagastra. He recognizes that attempting to grab Arjuna's arms or deploy a counterweapon requires too many physical frames of motion. A horizontal vector line represents the arrow's forward trajectory, intersecting a static point representing Arjuna's head. Because the velocity cannot be stopped, the solution alters the y-axis. Dropping the target's elevation beneath the trajectory allows the arrow to pass overhead. Krishna's solution bypasses the weapon entirely. He must manipulate the environment to move the target out of the path of the strike. To execute this, Krishna doesn't grab Arjuna and pull. Instead, he sharply drives his bare foot right into the floorboards of the golden chariot. In that single motion, he channels a concept known as divine weight. For a fraction of a second, Krishna concentrates the mass of the universe into the sole of his foot. The ground of the battlefield takes the brunt of this force, but instead of fracturing or shattering under the pressure, the dirt yields, softening to absorb the weight. The heavy wooden wheels punch into the dirt. The entire chariot sinks a few inches into the ground, pulling Arjuna downward with it. By utilizing the sudden displacement of the earth, Krishna achieves a downward drop far faster than any human muscle could contract. Time snaps back to normal speed. The Nagastra tears through the pocket of empty space that Arjuna's head occupied a millisecond prior. It misses his skull, but the glowing serpent arrow plows into the majestic golden crown resting on his head, shattering it into fragments. Arjuna recoils, gasping for air. He touches his bare head, feeling the blistering heat of the passing arrow, realizing how close he came to death. He looks over at his charioteer, breathless. Krishna looks back at him, offering a calm, knowing smile. That golden crown was a celestial gift. It was the physical representation of Arjuna's status as a warrior, and a symbol of his mortal ego. By allowing it to be destroyed, Krishna strips away Arjuna's pride. To save the mortal man underneath, the symbol of his invincibility had to be sacrificed. Arjuna survives this encounter not by fighting back, and not through his own elite skill. He lives because he was pushed into the dirt, grounded and humbled by an act of divine grace.